Today we're going to be talking about the NECA Godzilla King of the Monsters Rodan, the first and only Rodan to come out of NECA. Box-wise, it is the stereotypical KOTM format, a picture of Rodan on the front and back, silver and blue all around, But opening the box up, we get a little bit different as compared to others, and then the rest of the box is as you'd expect after looking at all the KOTM NECA figures, just read-ups, collect them all, picture of Rodan on the back. Yeah, that's it. First off, as we did with Mothra, let's take a look at Rodan's base, because it's actually quite nice. So Rodan's base looks like it was ripped directly from the movie. I mean, we've got the volcano mountaintop, we've got the containment unit with the little bases up top there, and I think NECA did a pretty great job. Again, a base with a little bit of character, a little bit of paint and detail, and isn't just a translucent plastic piece is definitely welcome, but wouldn't you know it, this base gets better, because it comes with an explosion effect that kind of looks like liquid, hot, spicy broccoli. It's nice and translucent at the base, we've got a whole bunch of explosive paint apps going on up here, and again, I really do appreciate that NECA went above and beyond to make the bases for their stands all the more, interesting to look at instead of it just being, translucent plastic. I mean, we do get that, but with the inclusion of this here explosion on top of the base, two Ds together. And this looks good just as a random piece in and of itself, just lovely. Now we have that translucent little stand for the base, combine them together, and boom, you have Rodan's stand. Although I'm pretty sure you could put this either way, either kind of swooping down or swooping up. I'm kind of partial to Rodan swooping up, but completely up to you. Solid stars in terms of paint and detail for Rodan's base and explosion. Controversially, Rodan came with an alternate head instead of having a hinged mouth, blah, 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 blah. And the paint and detail on his closed mouth head is rather nice. The eyes are mostly looking straight forward. I mean, oh yeah, definitely straightforward. The details are nice. Rodan's base color is a bit charred looking, and that's kind of something that I do enjoy. Rodan's got two horns, and yeah, look at that. That's where the peg goes, and yeah, that's solid star in terms of paint and detail for the alternate head. Let's just take a look at the figure now, please. Ah, NECA KOTM Rodan. You either loved it or you didn't. It doesn't seem like there was much to go off of in between. Because at the end of the day, you either paid $25 for this or $100 for Bland Dan and Poo-Poo Mothra. Poo-Poo-Thra. Rodan's overall paint job was definitely a subjective take when this guy first came out. Yes, Rodan do be looking rather charred, but it's the lava trails at the ends of the wings that always sold me on this guy. It's like, yeah, do I wish Rodan was a bit more on the crimson side in terms of his base color? Sure. But at the same time, it's like, would I trade the lava trail for a more crimson color? Absolutely not. I just love that NECA went above and beyond to actually include embers coming off of his wings, the little yellow dots over here. Sure, it might not be the neatest in presentation for some, but for somebody like me, I definitely do enjoy that. Honestly, KOTM Rodan having this cooled lava look for his skin just totally slapped. It was an interesting little, I guess, character moment for Rodan. It's like he lives in a friggin' volcano. The membranes of his wings representing cooled lakes of lava actually goes significantly hard. Rodan's claws look lovely. His arms overall look lovely. The undersides of Rodan's wings are going to have those very same lava trails at the edges. Moving through his tail to the opposite wing, it's just a win for me. I enjoy this paint job very much. Now the body's going to be a little spotty here and there. We'll get, chunks of just that orange lava red on some parts of the body, and then they won't be as prevalent on other parts of the body. But overall, I think it just kind of works. Rodan's open-mouthed head is definitely the way to go for this release. There are just some Godzilla characters that shouldn't have a closed mouth because it just doesn't do him justice. It's just from the front view, he kinda looks like an emotionally confused penguin. Yeah, kinda like that. While I still am confused as to why Rodan just didn't have a hinged jaw, I am very much glad that since he didn't have a hinged jaw, that just means we get two separate heads to display him as such. Anybody else remember when this figure first came out that the neck was packaged like upside down or something like that? So, like for my original review, it just looked like this the entire time and I didn't catch it. Whoever told me in the comment section to turn the neck over, thank you very much. much. Just a little bit of reminiscing for you there. But again, I think NECA did a pretty damn beautiful job with Rodan over here. I still and forever will never be able to get over how Rodan's wings look like pooled lava. I love it. And while some areas are a bit spotty with the paint, other areas just show that NECA understood the assignment. That, and it was a breath of fresh air to see eyes so tiny on a NECA Godzilla related figure and not have them look like goopy dead fish eyes. I do, however, think the inside of Rodan's mouth should have been a different color. That's my only complaint. 2 solid stars in terms of paint and detail. Now, when talking about articulation, Rodan's wings can indeed fold thanks to a hinge joint over here at Rodan's wrist. Whether you like the look or not is entirely up to you. Looking back on this now, I think fans would have been a little bit more favorable of this if it meant that it came with a decent crawl walk feature, and it doesn't, but it is what it is. We will get a hinge joint at the shoulder over here so we can flap in and we can flap out. Something that I forgot in my original review of this guy is that the arms and wings can go all the way around just like that. It was something that I was a little too worried to do. The neck can move down about that far and then back up about that far. Gonna have a peg and ball joint at the neck over here, so again, can look down about that far and then back up around that far. Combined with the movement in the neck, Rodan can look pretty far down, surprisingly, and pretty decently up, just to be leveled of when he's gliding. And as far as the legs go, we're going to get what feels like a ball joint at the thighs over here, meaning you can kind of do a nice little attack ready pose for Rodan, but for the most part, I mean, I just have my legs posed like that, just for when he's flying. Articulation-wise, it's a little on the basic side, but it gets the point across. I like it. It did everything I wanted it to do and still does, so solid star in terms of articulation. All there's left to do is just to put Rodan on his stand, and boom, he is flying over his former home, and it looks great. I'm honestly rather surprised that the hinge joints in the shoulders are still holding up for as long as they have. And again, I do give NECA credit for adding such character to the bases of their stands, truly. While Mothra's base of her stand was just a cocoon, Rodan gets a whole facility and an explosion, further adding to this release's popularity, because I don't know if anybody remembers this, but this thing sold out so quickly off of NECA's eBay store, I was surprised that I was even able to get one. But then again, I kind of was staking out the NECA eBay store like a crazy person. Mind you, there was never a select time of announcement. The things would just pop up on their store, and if you saw it, you bought it. If you didn't, you had to wait a little bit. But yeah, let's move on over into size comparison, shall we? SH Monster Arts King Ghidorah. Bandai Movie Monster Series Fire Rodan 2023 version, KOTM Movie Monster Series Rodan, Movie Monster Series Godzilla 91, Jakks Pacific Mothra 2019, Jakks Pacific Rodan 2019, good lord, Jakks Pacific King Ghidorah, NECA Godzilla 2014 first release, Haya GVK Monkey, Haya KOTM Goji, Haya KOTM Rodan, and Haya KOTM Mothra. And that's it. Everybody, we have officially covered nearly every single standard-sized NECA Godzilla release. I can't believe we're already at this moment. I can't believe it hasn't taken me 3 years. I really do think that NECA Rodan and NECA Mothra were fun little side steps for NECA to make, and I, along with many others, were really hoping that NECA would have opened their hearts to more Godzilla Kaiju, especially Ghidorah. I mean, I don't think I need to remind anybody about the whole
"Why NECA no make Ghidorah?"
It was a pain in the ass. It's like every other comment was, why didn't they make a Ghidorah? Understandable, of course, but after a while, it was just like, shut the fuck up. Anyway, when next we meet, we will be taking a look at the Big Kahuna, NECA's personal crowning achievement in Godzilla figures, the giant Godzilla 2014 figure. Had to save him for the finale. I just had to. Unfortunately, his sound feature no worky, and it's all because of changing the fucking batteries. But anyway, I have been ShinRobjira. I do so hope you enjoyed this review. See you all next week. Social media, Patreon, $1 a month, access to everything. Goodbye, good night, for good. Peace.